I'm going to give you the whole arc. I gave you a little bit of information. We got started on this arc, but I will give you the whole arc because what I want you to, my mission on this earth, okay, is to take the 2% that are getting to 10 recruits and at least double it globally. If we double it globally, every single company is in momentum. Every single company is in momentum. Momentum, I'm talking about 60, 70% year-over-year growth. Just going from 2 to 4. We can do that in this room. All right? It starts here. Those of you, wave your hands if you're at home and you're ready to be part of that change. You want to get out of level 1. Teach your teams how to get out of level 1. We're going to make that happen. All right, fantastic. So take a look at this chart. Write this down. Here's the flow. And I just wrote it while Fraser was doing this, so it's not, and forgive my handwriting. Find prospects. That's step 1. You got to find somebody to talk to. Then you need to have a conversation. We're going to talk about that next. Have a conversation with those people. Then you need to pivot. I'll explain what pivot means in a moment. It's where most people get stuck. Most people got stuck in the pivot. Then you need to invite them to some sort of third-party tool. Then you need to present what you have with some sort of third-party tool. Then you need to continue the conversation with them because most people aren't ready to make a decision at the first exposure. And then they can ultimately enroll, recruit, sponsor, whichever word you want to use. We use recruiting for this challenge, so I'll keep it recruit. They join your business. Okay? So, I've given you a short course on how to find prospects, and you should have plenty of people to talk to. Let's talk about the conversation thing. Write this in your notes, please. All business is conversation. All business is conversation. If you and others are talking about your product, your opportunity, you're in business. If you're not talking about it, you are out of business. All business is conversation. All business. At every level is conversation. Okay? So here's where most people mess up. They find prospects and their initial conversation is a business conversation. And it's a little too abrupt. It's a little too aggressive. Now, if you're willing to go through enough pain and enough numbers, you can do it that way if you want. But remember I said every person in your contact list has $100,000 a year to you income in their network? Do we want to do this the best possible way, or do we just want to throw numbers at the wall and see what sticks? Best possible way, right? Because you could succeed, but you can also kind of pour gasoline on the grass of all the other parts of your organization and kill the grass by being boorish, by being inappropriate, by being too aggressive. Haven't talked to them in 3 years. Your first words out of your mouth are, come join my business. So, this is going to sound like a foreign concept to you. But once you make your list, here's what I want you to do. Start a conversation with them. Be a normal human being. Just say hello. Hi, how are you? What's new? Take a look at their social media for 1 second. Say, hey, I saw a picture of the dog. How long you had the dog? I didn't know you had one. What's going on in your life? You ready for kids going back to school? How was your summer? I saw your name and it made me smile. So I thought I'd just say hi. And where most of that conversation going to be? Text message, SMS, direct message on social. That's where it's mostly going to be. Hey, I just wanted to say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hello. All right? No business conversation. We'll find the moment. That's the pivot. The pivot is pivoting that conversation to a business conversation. Right now, I need you to establish some rapport with this person. If it's hot market, you already have rapport. You already have an approach for hot market. I'm talking about the rest of the world. Everybody you're connected with. You need to start a conversation and say hello. And do you need a script for this? Somebody like, well, what should I say? What would you say to this actual person that you know? You still working at that place? What's going on in your life? What's happening here? What's happening there? So here's what I want you to do. We're going to do an exercise right now. You ready? Everybody pull out your phones. And at home, pull out your phones. And I want you to start 5 conversations in the next 3 minutes. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you have to pick them randomly. Pick the most negative person in your phone. Send it. Send a hello. I'm just wishing you the happiest day ever. Whatever. 5 starts to 5 people. You got 3 minutes. Go. At home, too. Every single one of you. At home.
I'm afraid of an ending.
Jennifer Hardman, that's you, too. Come on. Tamara, she's already on it. Anna Smith, you got this.
I'm afraid of a heartbreak. I hold on.
Virginia Hancock's on the phone doing it.
I wanna be strong. I'm falling apart.
Not a time for notes. Send a message. Send a message. 5 conversations, 3 minutes. 3 a.m. there. Fine. I know it's 3 a.m., but I saw your name and I couldn't sleep. And I just wanted to shoot your message. If you're afraid of waking them up, Jennifer, you're probably in Australia, send them an email because that probably won't wake them up. Say, I know it's 3 a.m., but I just wanted to say hi. See what's going on in your life. Shoot me a text tomorrow when you wake up. Daryl, you banging it out. Daryl M. Norman, you got this. Gaynor, you're on it. I can see. Michelle Jones, I can see you too. Fonda Nelson, she's banging it out. See how many you can do in 3 minutes. This is a huge part of what you're going to end up doing as you grow your business. Judith Black, banging it out. Some of you should, yeah, when you're done, put I'm done in the chat. You did your 5. Say hello. If you don't know what to say, just say hi. Huh? Make sure it's appropriate. You know, it's just like you up might not be appropriate for some of you, depending on the time of day.
It's me. I was wondering if after all these years
Oh boy.
to go over
Jessica, you done already?
everything.
Yeah, I see you.
They say the time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't
Michaela,
got
you done?
healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California.
Has anybody how many people have a response so far? If you're in the chat, put a 7. If you're in the room, raise your hand. You already got a response. This is the Lyft driver. Fantastic. Congratulations, you're now starting a business. Was this hard or easy? You'll get responses, don't worry about it. This is just showing you an example of what's possible. It's not showing you how you're going to close it. All right, bring Adele down. Come on. All right, I have more than 10 responses, 7 conversations happening. How many conversations are happening right now? Put it into the chat. Tessie says a little tense, but it's working. Why is it tense, Tessie? Why? This is somebody you know, and you're saying hello, and you're being a nice person. That's all you're doing. I'm not saying the next thing is going to be, are some people going to ghost you? Sure. Especially if you tried to prospect them 15 times. Just saying. If you have, it's fine. Right? No problem. I can help you out of that. All business is conversation. Can you do what I just described? Is it possible? Now, if you did it 100 times today before you go to sleep, how long would it take you to do 100? To start 100? An hour? Something like an hour? How many conversations would begin from that 1 hour? Now our job is keep the conversation going. Just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. I'm in some very, very big business conversations. I'm not going to share them here for confidentiality. Around the world, some big, big players. And it's the same thing. I got into conversation, I keep it going. They ghost me, I touch back in. They don't respond. I'm trying to get to an outcome. I'm trying to get to an introduction. I'm trying to get to a presentation. I'm going, nothing, this way, that way. I stay in touch, be nice, be charming, compliment, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And at some point, there's going to be an opening for the pivot. There's going to be an opening for you to pivot to a business conversation. Okay? So here's what I want you to understand. For you and everybody in the room, it depends how hungry you are. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry are you? Really? Really, put in the chat. How hungry are you on a scale of 1 to 10? If you're really hungry and you really make a list on social, email, phone, everywhere, every list you possibly have, could you start 100 conversations a day if you're really hungry? And if you did, you wouldn't even worry about who didn't respond, because right now you're sending one at a time. They didn't respond, and you're like, oh, I need to go take a nap. It's just like, this is hard. You know what I mean? So if you're super hungry, then find those people, start a conversation. Find those people, start a conversation. Find those people, start a conversation. You do 2 or 3 days of 100 a day, you'll have more conversations going on than you'll know how to handle. It's like tennis. You hit the ball over the net, they hit it back. Hey, I'm good. How about you? I'm fantastic. I'm ready for kids to get back to school. They send it back. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. What'd you do this summer? Did you have any fun? I didn't do much. We mostly had a staycation. How come just a staycation and not a vacation? Well, we're a little short on funds right now. Ding. How's the job going? Oh, you have no idea. I hate that job. Ding. I'm just saving it all. I saw you just had a grandkid. I saw you just had a baby. I saw you just got engaged. Oh, yeah, it's amazing. All the best for your family. Conversation, 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 conversation. And then at some point, there will be a moment when you can pivot. And the pivot is where we lose most of you. You pivot too early or you pivot too inappropriately into a business conversation. So for some of you, the conversation that you're going to have might need to be a couple weeks of just back and forth, friendly, not every, 20 texts a day. It's too much. But, especially if you're doing a lot of these, you hit it over the net. 2 days later, they send a response. Yeah, man, I've been busy. Man, crazy stuff going on. Oh, busy. Me too. How are you coping with what's going on? I always respond faster than they do, and if I don't hear back, I'll leave an appropriate window, and then I'll restart it. Hey, I saw this thing. If I know their passion, I know their interest, I'll send them a meme or something that'll make them laugh about what's going on in their life, or I'll share something that they might find interesting, or I say, hey, I've just watched this show. Have you ever watched a show like this? Whatever. Your job is keep the conversation going. As a professional, keep the conversation going. Then we get to the pivot. Now I'm going to give you some exact language on this, and we're going to go fast. We're going to go fast on the pivot, but this is the language that I've used. I've used my whole life. This is the language that I don't know if I've ever really shared this exact pivot ever in 35 years, but this is actually what I do and what I've coached a lot of people to do. So give me some examples. This is where people get stuck. Let me help you get unstuck. Example number 1. By the way, just write that down. By the way, it's the beginning of a pivot. You got to make sure the moment's right for it. By the way, I can't get this idea out of my head. And I don't know why I didn't even think about it before. But since we've been talking, I've just been wondering, I'm doing something, then there might be something that we could do together. Call me crazy. I could be crazy. I could be completely off. But I thought you should at least know about it. You can wait and have a conversation 2 weeks later. Say, you know what? It was so great to catch up a couple weeks ago, and I can't get this idea out of my head. It's stuck here. I might be nuts. Just tell me I'm nuts if I'm nuts, and I won't bother you with it. Then you can say, well, what are you talking about? Here's another. And I shy away from exact scripts, but I'm going to give you kind of the themes, right? One theme is, by the way, I'm doing this thing over here. You ever thought about anything like this? It's just a by the way. Or I can't get this idea out of my head. It's another one. Third one, when we were talking, you said you weren't really happy at your job, or you had to have a staycation instead of a vacation. And I've thought about that, and I was thinking there might be a way for me to be able to help you. It's a crazy idea. You might call me nuts, but I thought I should at least share it with you. Right? I like using certain language. Like, I've got this crazy idea, or I have this intuition. It's one of my favorites. Talked to a couple like big billionaire guys. And my approach to them after starting conversation was, I have an intuition that we could make some money together. I have an intuition that what I have here in this studio, for example, what I have here could help you and your businesses and your brands make more money. And I could be completely wrong, but I feel like 1 + 1 might add up to 5. I just got an intuition about it, and call me nuts. But I think you should maybe check it out. I understand you're busy. I'm busy too. But I think it would be worth your time to at least cross this off. I always love to put it, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on all of this, and tell me I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I just have this intuition. Another one that I love, where do you live again? For your social media friends, where do you live again? And no matter what answer they give me, I thought so. And I can't believe I didn't talk to you about this before. My company is expanding in that exact area. And we're looking for some sharp people. Money-motivated, ambitious business people in that area. Where are you from? Columbus, Ohio? You're not going to believe this. I'm expanding my business in Columbus, Ohio. Do you know anybody who's sharp that can help me launch a business there? Because it's working here. You know what I mean? Another one that I love, let's say I know that they work for themselves. Or, excuse me, they work for somebody else. This one's one of my favorites. Have you ever thought of going into business for yourself? Being your own boss, starting a company, being an entrepreneur? And no matter what answer they give me, it's going to be a compelling conversation. So what's your name? Kayla. Hi, Kayla. How you doing? So have you ever, outside of network marketing, let's just role play. Let's assume that what did you do prior to network marketing? Outfitting? Like hunting, working for an outfitter. Okay. Like hunting type stuff. You worked for, you had a boss, right? Okay. So Kayla? Kayla. So I go to Kayla and I say, Kayla, fun chatting back and forth. And first of all, if it's me, I'm married and she's single, and I'm sending her some message, I need to be talking about my wife a lot. Okay? So just make sure this is not some game. I'm not trying to do something. I need to be making sure that, you know, we have a connection from whatever appropriate thing. Otherwise, it's always going to feel a little, what's going on here? This is not normal, right? No. Like, no, my love, you know. So I go to Kayla. Have you ever thought of starting your own business? Being your own boss? Yeah? Have you done it? Now, if she says no, she said no in this example, why haven't you done it? Real life. Oh, we have a mic? Great. Why haven't you done it? Just role play with me. Play it on.
Too young.
You too young? All right. Why else?
Not enough funding.
Didn't have enough money. That makes sense. What else?
Thinking that I might fail.
Thinking that you might fail. It's too scary. So security is important to you, right? So figuring out how you're going to do it. Any other reasons?
Not enough. Worrying that people won't support me.
Not sure that people will support you. So security and risk again. You got to make sure you can pay the bills.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I ask those questions a couple times, she says no. And I said, now this might sound crazy, but the reason why you popped into my head is what if there was a way that you could start a business with a great idea without having huge risk, that was flexible so you didn't have to walk away from your job? You could work for yourself, learn as you go, and be able to get some leverage, and over time build a business and be able to transition away from that job. If that was actually real, would you be willing to take a look at it?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Who wouldn't? Okay? So who's successfully started a business before? Or just started a business before? This young lady right here. Pass the mic right up. What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. So I asked her, you know, hey, you ever started your own business or ever wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Yeah? What'd you start?
A school of music with my husband.
A school of music? How's it going?
It's great.
It's great?
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you able to scale? Do you have one location or do you have multiple locations?
One location.
One locations. Why don't you have more than one if it's a good thing?
Scaling is really hard because they're attached to us as the instructor.
Really hard. So they're attached to you. You're kind of the business.
Right.
Yeah. So if you pull you out, the business isn't as strong as it would be without you.
Correct.
What if you had 100 of those around the world? Would your life be better?
That would be amazing.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
You know, what if you kind of turned it into a franchise almost, and everybody around the world was doing their thing, you were doing yours, and they were doing theirs? That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And because there's a kind of a cap on what you're earning now, even though it's a great business, and you love it.
Oh, for sure. Because if we don't work, we don't make money. So.
Yeah. So here's why I'm asking the question. I admire entrepreneurs, people who take the risk and go do the thing and make something successful, and you know, you should be proud of what you built. But what I've also learned is if they can't get scale, eventually they burn out. Eventually it gets tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. The business owns them, they don't own the business. So if I told you that there was a way to kind of have a business not only across the country but around the world that was operating independently from you. You could use the entrepreneurial skills you already developed, leadership skill you already developed. You could have your location. You didn't even have to give up your dance business that you had. You can keep that going. If I could show you how to be able to go expand it and have something that went around the world where you got real scale, real leverage, would that be something you'd be willing to take a look at it and just check
I'd
out?
for sure take a look at it,
Yeah, take a look. Why not? You're an entrepreneur.
for sure.
Yeah, cool. So, point, read, introduce, tell story. I would guide to that. But do you see, it doesn't matter. Hers is a business she loves. How about a person who tried a business and it didn't work? What's the story I'm going to get from them? Why didn't it work? I didn't have the money. The economy did this, this. Do I have a solution for that? Yes or no? I have a solution. But I already have a relationship because we've been in conversation. I'm asking questions to be able to find out exactly where they are. And I lead them to a solution that it might not be a fit, but at least it's one of the things they should explore. They should explore one of those things. So I love the entrepreneurial question, starting your own business question. If it's a no, why not? They give me the list, I have the answer to that list. If it's a yes, is it going well? Yeah, it's going great, but it's got its limitations. This. What if we could fix that? If it's a yes and it's a real struggle or it went out of business, I said never again, I went and got a job. I know you have entrepreneurial spirit. Let's figure out a way for you to get back into entrepreneurship without risking everything you got going on. I've got a solution. It might not be the solution, but it's a solution for you to at least explore. Do you understand this pivot now? There's a little charm. There's a little emotional intelligence to find out when to make the pivot. Conversation, pivot. Back to conversation, pivot. You know what I mean? I got this thing stuck in my head, and I want to help you. You know? So what does it hurt to take a look? Let's explore it together. Right? Dana White has UFC across the street 2 miles away. I wanted to get him over here. And we connected. We became friends. Conversation took me 6 weeks. 6 weeks for him to go 2 miles. 6 weeks. But when he finally walked in, you know what he said? Oh my God, thank you. Because I didn't understand until I walked in here. Now I get it. Let me help. You know, started opening up doors. Crazy. Conversation, pivot. Conversation, pivot. Leading people to the information. This was my third-party tool for Dana, for him to see what might be possible here. I think 1 + 1 adds up to 10. You know, we can do something together.